Got a fat chart for buying, the bottom so low. Spot the curve dip, I'm riding the low. Rounded bottoms make my wallet grow. Whales keep cool, let the market sway. Buying the dip with a wink and a play. Round bottoms, yeah, they pay the bills. Stacking my coins, chasing the thrills. Round bottoms making wealth go round. Crypto's my jam, I'm holding the crown. Crypto's diving in a moonlit stream. Huddle the line where the profits gleam. Patience my game, I'm the whale in the deep. Scooping the bottom, my profits don't sleep. Round bottoms, yeah, they pay the bills. Stacking my coins, chasing the thrills. Round bottoms making wealth go round. Crypto's my jam, I'm holding the crown. When the charts crash, I don't run scared. Bull runs coming, my wallet's prepared. Well, in the game, I wait for the sign. Rounded bottoms, the gold's all mine. Round bottoms, yeah, they pay the bills. Stacking my coins, chasing the thrills. Round bottoms making wealth go round. Crypto's my jam, I'm holding the crown. Got a fat chart for buying, the bottom so low.
Waiting for the season, lost in crypto's gloom. Oh. Waiting for the season, lost in crypto's gloom. Oh. Whoa. Shadows on the charts, all coins fade to gray. Gonna spin their tails, but they're gone next day. Hype burns like a flame, then it turns to dust. Waiting for the season, in my dreams I trust. Oh, altcoin season, when will you blow? Dreaming of the riches,
Check 1 2 1 2.
lost in the gloom.
Let's hit a song.
Season,
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a impromptu daytime stream here on Road Dog Crypto. I do this every once in a while, especially if I see something going in the market that probably needs to be talked about. A couple of nights ago on the live stream, and it almost seemed a little preemptive. It was a little preemptive, but I was seeing the signs for what we're seeing today and I put it on there, altcoin season detour, just 2 days ago. Two nights ago when I saw that, and I want to go over what we saw and how it's playing out. And the market seems to be a lot more scared right now than what I am. So I want to explain the reason behind that. If you're over in our Telegram group, which of course is a free but private group, so you have to get in through the channel links here. And currently it is still free. At some point, there might be an NFT entry requirement, but I mean, those are just thoughts. Anyway, over here in the chart room area, the trade setups, I just posted this recently over there. And here's my thoughts on Bitcoin. We can just go over it right here without me having to get too much. This red line that we've got, that's our 236 fib area. We've been holding that for a while now. We did this once before, and it resulted in the move that got us all the way up here to 123. This is not new. This is something that happens in a parabolic move, where we start respecting these higher fib levels a lot more than what we ever normally do. And today we came back down and we tested it perfectly. We bounced off it over the last few hours twice there, 117.4, 117.3 in that area, respecting it with some higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. This is a good sign, people. This is not a terrible sign. It sucks that we came down here, especially last night on the show. Elliot was over here saying, no, we're going to go up. We're doing a wave 5. And I was like, I don't see it, Elliot, but whatever. And clearly he was wrong. You suck, Elliot. I'm just saying, got to rub that in. But that's what I'm looking like for the charts. But here was the other thing. This is the Bitcoin dominance. This is what it looks like on the 36-minute chart. This is the dotted yellow line. That's where we were approaching. We weren't even there when I put the video out saying, oh. And I think by the time the video was over, we actually came down and touched that line. And that's when we started getting our support here. This is when altcoins started giving up the gains that they had through this drop. Now, I'm going to come over to the regular chart so we can actually talk about this situation here in a little bit in real time. This, of course, is Bitcoin on the 6-minute. I'm on the tiny ass time frame here. And she is trying to get a little breakout here. Now, there's no volume here to support it, so it's a little suspect. But even my moving averages over here are saying we got a good chance that price could be coming up to about 118. I think what I'm looking for, I'm going to zoom out a little bit because that's just makes sense. How we do this on the show, how we see these things, possibilities ahead of time, is an easy technique. It's called zoom the freak out. We look a lot on the weekly and the daily, and they tell us a lot of what's going to happen. It's kind of like a GPS. You know, when you're driving in the car with the GPS, you get a bird's eye view of the road. You know there's going to be a turn up here, a detour. There's a stoplight ahead, or a cold, what they call it, roundabout, or whatever's going on. The weekly, the daily, the higher time frames are our GPS that give us the roadmap of what's going on. We can see a little curving going on here, right? You see the little curving going on? See this nice little green candle here on the daily? And yet, when we look at altcoins, like everybody's freaking out here on the daily. We've already given up gains 2-3% on the altcoins. Oh my God, what's happening? That's crazy. And so zooming out gives us, but then when we get to the nitty gritty, like over here on like the 1 minute or whatever, we're like, I can't see what's going on. I don't know. I can't see if it's going to curve or not. Oh, is that a deer? And you can run into things and get really freaked out if you're just guiding on the smaller time frames. The bigger time frames are what guide us and help us, and that's what helped me to see the possibility to warn you guys that, hey man, we need to take profits. We need to have some kind of plan in order in case price decides to go down, and that's where we are. So apart from all that, what's going on now? Well, we lost a makeshift trend line. There's another one. We're shaky right now, but we got a chance to kind of go a little zigzaggedy, but we made higher, or we came back and I think it's technically a higher low right here. double top or a double bottom, if you're trying to look at that, is trying to form. It's a possibility. It's not confirmed yet. We are looking pattern wise for anything. We're at support. Got 2 touches down here. Higher lows. Resembles a possible Adam and Eve, where this is a little pointy, this has got a slight rounding. Basically, it doesn't matter as long as a double bottom comes back up to its neckline. That's what really counts. Whatever the shapes are doing over here, they can give us a little insight to how it might play out, if it's more positive or not. But it's very slight. The basic thing operates the same thing. It's got to come back up here. We've got to get Bitcoin back up to about $118,700. That's right, where this purple 360 moving average is coming in. That's why I got them there. And it looks like we're trying to do that. Now, up here, when we get up there, I'm not saying that we're just going to blast through. We got some negative crosses here we got to work through on these moving average, and it spells some chop. But it spells some positive chop, is that we might come up there, do retest, and then try to break out. So, and ultimately, what I'm saying is we're not rolling over to go down yet. Okay, I don't see any signs of that yet, and that could change. We'll keep our eyes open for it, but things are looking good, in my personal opinion. Though we got a nice bounce back down here at this very special Fibonacci area, and in essence, we should be, now that we are making a higher low, at a nice Fibonacci retracement area. Let's see where you come in. Oh, snap! Can't even draw a line here, or a fib here. What's happened to your road dog? We reclaimed our 618. She came down below it, all right? Freaked everybody out. They started getting scared. They started selling off. They started calling for, I don't know what's going on. All the people that have been calling for altcoin season every day for the last week are having to eat their words today with this drop, because with altcoin rally, altcoin season, little too preemptive. Could we be working for one? Yeah. All that matters is that we got a chance to come back up here to 120 and hopefully about 121 to get our higher high in. That is what price action should be doing. That should be its mission. And it's trying to do it. It's trying to give us the signs. I'm trying to get started. We're doing our little W pattern here, like we did over here, What comes after the W patterns? Well, usually, a little uppityness, and it could be shaky uppiness, giving back and pump up and takes, and I expect it to do a lot of zigzaggity, but we should be coming up for a higher high. So before you get too scared with all the other stuff that's out there, because I see a lot of, a red day in the market, things don't go exactly as they plan. A lot of the YouTubers are turning very bearish, and they're calling for, I don't know what they're calling for. Lots of unknowns, and scarediness is basically what we see called for. But I'm here to give you a voice of reason, saying, hey man, don't let it trip you out. That's what they're trying to do. They want to trip you out. They want to separate you. If you're in a little drawdown, well, whose fault is that? I'm in drawdown too on some things. It's our fault that we don't do what we should do when we should do them as effectively as we can, but that's part of learning how this game is played. Nobody plays it perfect. Don't be hard on yourself if you're not playing it perfect either. But you're learning little bits out of the way, and you should be starting to see it show up in your accounts as, oh man, things are starting to look better. There's hope after all. Things are starting to turn around. Maybe I can do this. You can do this. But we got to train ourselves to take action at certain points and certain pivot points. And this was a good one here on dominance when she fell. It's a good one on Bitcoin when she came back and retested this little fib area, taking any kind of entries there, as ballsy as they are. Well, that would have been a smart move. Imagine you hit that line. Oh my God, I gotta buy instead of selling, and you can be up. Just some ways that we got to train our mind to look at these things and reframe how we look and look at entries and things. Your best entries are always at the bottom. It's just hard to nail those bottoms, right? Should we be trying to nail the bottoms? I mean, we can try, but we shouldn't be just obsessed with it. Pivot points, baby, pivot points. Fibonacci, they'll help you out. That's what gave us this lines over here. It's been working like a charm ever since. I like what I'm seeing. I think we got a chance to pop out, but let's take a look at the bigger time frames because they'll help us. Here is something that we pointed out last night that I think is worth mentioning again, just to kind of give you a little sigh of relief here, is if we do zoom out, say to, we got to go to a daily or something. All right. Do you see this line over here from this top? And I even skipped over this one because we started laying the line down on these two little wicks over here. This is a beautiful sign. It is the outer parameter. I wanted to use that word today, parameter. Thank you for allowing my dreams to come true, everybody. 12 people hanging out. Love you for it. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to use the word parameter today. All right, so we broke out above that, and all we're doing right now currently is retesting that area. And not only did we retest it, we found some support there and took a bounce, and that was a very positive sign. We did that a couple of times here. That was when we broke down below my little red cheater line right there, and we came down and tapped it. Came up, make a lower high. Now that sucked. That's a warning sign. Hey man, we're either going sideways or maybe we're starting to correct and reverse. And so higher low was like, oh well, obviously we didn't bump out this lower low, so maybe we're doing a little consolidation going on here. And so far that's what we got, babies. So far that's what we got. If I draw a trend line from here to these candle bodies over here, see we broke out, but we're currently right at that little line. We're testing some really good areas for support, in my personal opinion here. If we can just get us a little higher high action right here, just come and knock out this guy at 121. If that's what we're doing right here, I'm like, oh man, we doing something good. Higher highs, higher lows, boom. Let's bounce off this area. The whole point that I'm making right here is that we tested this area twice. This is the top of a rising wedge. Normally a very bearish situation, but if we break out, test it for support, there is a very good chance with the pattern and with the Fibonacci areas that we are holding here that there is a big ass move coming for Bitcoin. And I don't mean to sound like a moon boy, I'm just telling you what the charts are telling me, and that's saying there's a good likelihood that this is going to be the time that you will see some kind of fake outs to try to scare you to get out of your positions, to give up on everything. And as soon as you do, as soon as you cave in to that little thought, that little idea, they're going to pump the hell out of Bitcoin and everything else is going to follow. That's the game plan. That is where we are at this point in the market. So we need to be very cautious around these 236 areas. This 117, watch it closely, see what's going on, even when she dips a little lower, if she does. I don't know if she's going to do it again. She might. They could play with us for a little while over here. But as long as Bitcoin is going sideways, and we keep an eye on this Bitcoin dominance, when she finally does get to her area where she's going to get some reversal, it could be here, showing the first signs that maybe we're trying to come back down. It might be trying to come back and do a double bottom. That's a possibility. If that happens, you will see altcoins start to bounce back. Everybody's saying, look, we're rejected. It's altcoin, say that again. If you don't take some profits when we come back to this little dotted line, if that happens, you're going to go through whatever you're experiencing right here again. Is it fun? Do you want to do it again? I'm not liking it, but I'm dealing with it because I did take some profits down here. Just need to take a little bit more. Maybe I can do a little bit better if we come back down. There's a chance we might be looking at that. The other idea would be we come up here. That means altcoins taking more of a beating, but we get rejected. They'll start turning around. Meaning, in short, if we do, every time we hit one of these areas, there is an altcoin setup to be looking for. There's a possible altcoin long to be looking for. This is the main guy I'm looking for. I don't know if we'll get up there, but any of these guys below here signify that, especially this one, that we could be going for the lower low. So if we do make it up here and see altcoins get decimated again or take a big correction, and this is where we see Bitcoin dominance decide to reverse, that could be setting up for a stronger altcoin move. So I'm watching these ideas. Again, we're on the 4 hour here. I'm going to come down to a smaller, like a 15, and see what we got going on. Because we're at our first area of rejection, meaning this could be the first time where altcoins kind of start turning around a little bit, right? Looking kind of bullish to me, a little parabolic at areas of rejection, but she can definitely continue higher here. So let's watch carefully as Bitcoin and altcoins, but mostly Bitcoin dominance, just to see what she might be up to here. She's getting positive. It's looking very positive. I say there is a good chance that we will see more continuation for altcoins to bleed a little bit, a little give and take as we come up to one of these areas. And let's see what happens with Bitcoin dominance. So altcoins, whether you want to de-risk now and try to get in a little bit later, that's kind of up to you. The best place to de-risk was when we were down here or even on the pullback. as this one starts to continue. If it goes up more, you're going to see altcoins fall a little bit more, give up the gains, another probably 5% a day or something like that, kind of what we were gaining. And we got to make calls on our positions that we're holding and all that. Are we up enough? Can we weather that storm, or do we need to take action and do something? And that's where we are. But I'm just telling you, probably one of the best things if you're low leverage, or especially no leverage at all, if you're sitting in spot, I would chill. I would chill. Bitcoin will get some attention if it goes back up to 21,000 or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it gets rejected there. I don't know what happens, but the Bitcoin dominance, we need to see her take a chill pill before we start looking for any entries in the altcoin, or before we seriously start entertaining those entries and ideas. But ultimately, I got to say, for Bitcoin, I am not fearing for Bitcoin to take a big nosedive at the moment. Currently, at the moment, I don't see that on the charts. I see some chop, some higher lows, and trying to work ourselves up. Slow momentum is how it usually starts when we're down in these areas. It takes a little while. It takes a few candles to get all this sorted out before we start going up. But I see the possibility of us working for a higher high here, at least to come back to 120. That should be where we are possibly, in my opinion, that is where we are heading. Just looking at all the areas. You take a look at this trend line right here on Bitcoin. Of course, we popped out of it, lost it. We came back. That's the exact same area that we're retesting right now. It's retesting that. And successfully, I might add. All these little things, we are finding bottom support areas on whatever style, whatever method that we're using. Trend lines, Fibonacci's, moving averages. The support is there for Bitcoin. I want to be clear about that. The support is there right now for Bitcoin. I wouldn't let these little YouTube fear mongers try to make us think that, you know, we're definitely going down to 113. It can happen, but the signs aren't there yet. In other words, the best time to look for us coming down to these areas are probably after we come up to an area of rejection. So if we get up to 120 and can't make it, maybe we entertain those thoughts. That maybe something, if we can't make a higher high, we make a higher or a lower high, then we can entertain those thoughts for a lower low. Right now, we have no reason by market structure to even entertain those thoughts if we're going by the rules, the guidelines, where we have, even though we're lower low here, we made a higher high, higher low. That is the first sign of changing the trend. Now, WD Gann says when you see those first signs of changing the trend, from a downward trend, those next higher lows are some of the sweetest entries to get in. The sweetest entry to get in was right over here at 116.8 because it was the higher low from this one right here. That was the lower low. See that? Lower low from here. Lower high, higher low. Then we can start playing this little game, but they are all higher lows here and making this a sweet ass area to get in for some more upside. In my personal opinion, doesn't have to be yours, just telling you what I see, showing you my opinions of what I'm seeing here in the market. And then you know, you got everybody else's on YouTube and they are all over the place. Let me say hello to everybody. I pretty much said everything I needed to say over here. Let's see, got 10 people hanging out. See if you guys got any questions or comments about things, and pop the chat out here. Give you guys a quick shout out. I've done my spiel. I think we're okay. I think you just need to chill and plan wisely. Don't get I would not be selling out of fear here. I would not be. That's what I'm trying to make clear. I would not be selling out of fear, but I would find ways to de-risk if we go up, you know, kind of level things out. Plan your strategies. There will be some good entries on altcoins coming over the next couple of days here, it looks like. This is Wednesday Hump Day. And it appears that they're trying to make it Wednesday Dump Day this week, and that's okay. I guarantee things will start changing by the time that we start going to the weekend, because they're putting their plans into motion now. They make their plans for what they're going to do on the weekend early. We're starting to see the early signs of it. Scare everybody out. Then we're going to run the whoop-de-doo on them this weekend again. Glitty Marshmallow, caught you during my workout. Perfect timing. Hey, Glitty Marshmallow. Duality C, shout out to you guys. Deep C, Keith and Chief, Dylan VA. Bullets on Parade. Skyrockets at Night, Afternoon Delight. Oh, I remember that song. Soul, how's it going? Good to see you. Need a little cowbell. Is that what we need? We need a little cowbell in our life. Helps clear the air, clears our brain. Calls Bessie home. Might even give us milk in some situations. Milk! Chief and Keith. This one is very Breaking Benjamin inspired. So says the music keeps chill. There's some new music that's in this little lot that I'm playing here. I trickle some out every once in a while. Sir Lamont, hey, welcome to Strom, my man. Good to see you here. Dave P. You're not on screen. Yeah, I decided, well, I can do this quicker for these updates if I don't go through the whole setup to put me on the screen. So I just originally came out just to do a, kind of a shorter little video, a little update. So you'll see that happen a little bit more often with my little daytime impromptu streams here. I just wanted to come over and calm some nerves. Dave says SBK, is that Spark, is on fire. We got the Dusty Hunt. Yo! We can take a look at Spark. We can take a look at a few altcoins if you guys want to. Steve Hickey. Hey, brother. First time on your live. Heard a lot about you from Trade Intuition. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for hanging out and being around. I just came out to give a little positivity that I'm seeing on the charts anyway. Because I know at these times things go a little different while we're planning. We just kind of saw the signs of it a few nights ago on our live stream, and here it is. It's starting to play out, and when they actually hit, that's when, oh crap, this is real, and we get a little scared, and the emotions start coming in. Then we start making stupid mistakes. So we don't want to do that. Brackus Adventures, how's it going, my man? Brackus is an admin over in our Telegram group over there.
Future's coded in every line. This is our time.
Bullish on Parade says, I honestly think the market makers pump the altcoins so that they can see what's there for them to buy after they dump it.
Crypto dreams in my heart so loud.
Interesting thought. Brackus Adventures says, sweet. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the content. Market makers will help pump and manipulate things. Oh, I'm not on live chat. I need to get on live chat here. All right, so I see SWE and then Spark, I think. All right, let's take a quick look at those. SPK. See what's going on. Look. Oh, snap! That's a boner. That's a boner pattern right there, if I've ever seen one. It's got a little curve there. If your Peyronie's disease might be going on, I don't know. I hear that little up curve like that is kind of enjoyable for the. I don't know. I mean, it's. I ain't bitching about it. This is just as awkward as the late night streams. That's a nice parabolic move right there, I gotta say. It's got a little bit of a wick, a blew off toppy looking there. A little hard to navigate. Just holding a 236 right now. That's kind of cool. I dare not draw any lines or do anything for fear of cursing this one. As long as she's doing that, and as long as we can actually draw out some actual trend lines to use. The method to navigate these guys are to use trend lines. And you may have to go down to smaller time frames to narrow them in. This is on the 1 hour. If we go to the 15-minute, we can see they're still curving up. She's doing her parabola. So if we go from these bottoms here like that, there's our trend line. There's our trend line. That's the one to watch, okay? So when you're playing this, you can zoom in until we get on our fast little trend line. And as long as you will keep your stop losses somewhere below this line, you're not going to get taken out in all this. You won't get caught up in all this stuff. And now you might be a penny behind, but anywhere below this trend line. The rule of thumb is we start closing candles below this trend line. Break this particular trend line, then this move is over. And currently, I mean, just to get ballsy, come down to an even smaller time frame. And then we track this trend line. So this would be a nice quick one to take some action on. This would be the first one to break, right? And so in a parabolic move, this has been the best way that I can find. You have to be kind of active in it. But if you want to try to nail the tops or not get caught up in any kind of slam bam, thank you ma'am, I got to take your money anyway kind of action, these trend lines can help you. Because when you break the trend lines, you need to, that's a sign that something's changing. That means we break this trend line, that means that this move is changing. Break this trend line, that means that this move is changing. Something's going on there. And so as soon as we break those lines, maybe taking a little profit, maybe getting out of the position, however you work it, usually just taking a little bit of profit will save you. And then any of these trend line, breaking this trend line would be exit. That one would be exit. Because what happens with these guys when you zoom out, because it doesn't look as bad here. When these guys finally do top out, they go down and sideways, reaccumulate, and it's not a fun ride to be in. When these guys finally, if it goes up and then breaks the parabola, they usually do a bunch of this for a long time before they start doing anything else. Not worth being in all this, not worth trying to buy it at that point or anything. So you're looking for places to take profit on Spark. And she's doing good. Can't bitch about this at all. Can she go to 20 cents? She's been there before. It looks like she's trying to go back up and double tap that. Let's encourage her and hope that she does. Take a look at SWE. SWE, I believe, has dropped. Weren't you down to like, yeah. Crazy how the mighty have fallen, right? So this is the part of the game where, the flag chasers come out, and just call it for what it is. Drawing a flag here. Yeah, you got some action. Trying to force it into a flag here or whatever. Then you just end up disappointed. Again, trend line strategy. That would have saved your ass. That's the thing right here. Trend line. Well, we just went over trend lines are your best friends. Trend line and Fibonacci both would have told you that $4 at SWE, breaking that area, or even retesting, probably get some good places to take profits. So notice this, if you will, breaking the trend line, how it come back down, then we come back up. When you break a trend line and she gets bullish again, they can set you up for a double top. Sometimes the price comes up to touch the trend line and you make a higher low, but that's your double top thing. Sometimes it's coming right back up to these areas. But now that's how we're double tops form, losing the trend line. So any flag ideas, I'd just like to draw this home just for some of the people that are watching the flag chasers. These ideas, you'll see these ideas anytime that crosses a trend line, because they don't care. Those guys don't care. They'll flag its things out. They've probably still got a flag going on. And if you follow that idea, how'd it play out? Well, it's just doing this. It's just making a bigger flag. How many times are you going to tell yourself until it finally gets down here to a Fibonacci area of a support, or maybe another trend line down here, and then you're going to call it a flag? So, and I talk about these things because, I was new too, and that was a strategy that was given to me. And then you finally wake up and say, well, that strategy sucks. You'll get caught. I mean, everything's not always a flag all the time. Just saying. However, looks like we got a good chance for this little guy, if my fibs are correct, from swing low to swing high. Come back down to test a 382. That's actually bullish. This is a bullish place for it to bounce. So we might see 351 out of SWE again after she got rejected at 424, a spike up to there. Wow, Friday the 18th. It was on a Friday pump on SWE. That was the best place to take profits, but not everybody's going to know that. The only way that you could possibly have an idea is playing your levels, pulling your fibs, and even then 886 taking some profits there, that would have been a great place. She still spiked up. Okay, you have to get every little thing, but she just came back up testing the area that she was at before, just didn't quite make it there. Now we're in pullback city. I'm still looking about 351 out of this one. Does that mean that I'm going to be correct that target will definitely hit? It's got a better chance than not to hit. We will put it that way. There are some little local things that we could do to try to maybe nail things in different in case it just wanted to come down. Oh, not quite touch it. Those are some situations. Those are some possibilities. My 127 comes in at 353, so there might be a slight little chance that Maybe she just comes down and doesn't quite touch that little green line, touches that red one instead. Let me look at those ideas. But it looks to me, if I had to guesstimate for a price action, I would look, it could be coming for a little pump, maybe to 380 and then roll over. To me, I think we got an ABC correction. It's what I said about Bitcoin last night, but Elliot said I was a liar. He didn't call me a liar, but he said I was wrong, which is this. That's the same thing you were saying last night, Elliot, before we dumped on Bitcoin. But no, we're in a wave forward, we're getting ready to blast off. So take that for what you will, Elliot. We always give Elliot Wave a hard time. Actually, applying those principles saves me from selling too early and always looking for that last little hump, that little fifth wave. So I don't hate on Elliot. We just have fun with him. Steve Hickey says, what time are you usually on live? Usually at night. I've been shooting for about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still trying to figure. So Bullets on Parade answered that. Maybe I should stick in the chat. Yeah, 10 or 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Steve says, you need a chicken to dance with the banana. Oh, yeah. Chicken and banana. I'm kind of liking those vibes there. I'm not set up to do that at the moment, but maybe next time we come to the screen, we'll put the, or am I? Because I have to get rid of the girl too. Wait a minute, is that you? So we got banana. Where is chicken? I don't have as many things over on this particular, Did we erase the chicken? There's naked chicken. Oh, she's right in that banana. Oh no! The banana is about to touch they're about to do some, the hot. Are you swinging both ways, Mr. Banana? We're going to have to put some degrees of separation between you and the hot dog. I don't like where this is going. This is getting, y'all are getting a little too liberal here on this show. Mr. Hot Dog, Mr. Sausage, I'm going to put you closer to the alien. We're going to partner up a little bit. Put some, my goodness. That party was getting a little too intimate right there, and I think maybe it still is. That chicken and banana like each other a lot. All right, I think we got that. Bullet Parade said, I fat fingered that. Sorry, what? Bullet Jump Parade says, I meant they pump them so they can see which ones are bullish for them to buy. Oh, I see what you're saying. Which to try to find strength. Maybe. That's an interesting theory. I mean, I know I do. I try to, most other people do try to see what's strong after the pumps or the dumps. Actually, market makers they're just there to bring price down to wherever bids and everything are. We talk about them like they're nasty and mean, but that's just, they got a strategy that they've got to do too, just to help. And then they get paid for that. That's the beautiful thing. They get paid to do that, to take price down to wherever there's a lot of orders or stop losses or whatever might be going on. Cover your eyes, children. Market maker, I mean, but if you, sometimes, I mean, my strategies, my bigger overall strategies are, to look for these areas of accumulation on bottoms and bottom fibs and just bottom areas and things like that. And, that doesn't jive with a lot of people, and some people are scared and they're usually talking dirty about coins when they're down here and I'll never touch it again. You suck. I got to see you show yourself to me and prove yourself. But these are the areas of what I've learned is this is what your market makers are doing. What your whales are doing, they're looking at these areas because this is where they accumulate so that they have something to sell down through here. And all the time that we're buying, well, I'm selling. So the market makers have but if you can trade like a market maker, and you're trying to accumulate when they're accumulating, because they are. But they're doing it so that they have something to meet these buy orders that are here on the way up too. It's kind of an interesting game. They don't have the greatest strategy. It's a profitable one. They get a lot of leeway that we don't get. But I like to accumulate when they accumulate too. I like to do what they do. As prices going up, I like to be selling out. I like to be selling out. That's for the price, just like the same thing that they're doing. And then they distribute when they're over here, try to just de-risk. I mean, that's.
The Bitcoin, pump it fast and free.
What they're not doing, what I can guarantee a market maker is not doing, is waiting until you get up to a big pump and then getting ready to buy the breakout of a flag. They are doing exactly the opposite. They are the reasons that your flags are not working out. So I just, it's my mission in life just to say, if you're forming a flag at support, be cautious of it. If you've already had 3 levels of run up, if you've had a bottom, you had a middle, you probably got a top, and those are the worst places to be trying to flag something to the upside, although it's very common here on YouTube. But you look around and see that they don't usually work out that well. I'm just trying to warn you just not to get involved with all that. We do play flags, but we need to play flags when they're down on the low, not on the high. In my personal opinion. I'm sitting here bitching. I think I've said everything that I meant to say. Me, Damien, how's it going? We're just doing an impromptu update. I think things are a little bit more bullish than what I'm seeing is being delivered here on YouTube right now. A lot of people getting scared and, oh no, it's over. You know, now they're calling, all the ones that were calling for altcoin season over the last week, now they're calling for, it's been derailed. It's been derailed. But the signs have been there. The signs have been there. And I'm just curious, I'm just watching to see, are we going to get rejected here of Bitcoin dominance and come down? That would be great. Or is it going to press on up? And that will suck for altcoins. But once it does get up to these areas and gets rejected, or even up to here, then things will start turning back on again. There's a little chance we might have another little rally out of altcoins. Short-lived, maybe. But then there's also that little chance where we don't. Well, you're no help, road dog. It's looking like it's a little bit more in our favor to actually see a little, you know, a little give back to our altcoins. But you know, what does that mean? I mean, you should probably take a little profit when we come back down here. I'm just saying. This is overall bullish. I'm seeing a good chance that Bitcoin dominance over the next few days will slowly continue to trickle up here. So any gains that you get in your altcoins, take a little profit. Take a little profit. It's okay. That's okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my mission has been accomplished. I'm just here to give you a little sigh of relief. And here we are at Bitcoin, no longer at 117. My biggest argument was that we found support, 236 Fibonacci era, still holding on. We got a higher low there. We got a good chance to be working on a higher high for Bitcoin. That means the attention will be forming a little bit more toward Bitcoin than the altcoins, and then it'll switch over. So you might have to wait for Bitcoin to take its little trip up, and that might help altcoins come up a little bit, maybe a little bit. Some of them are going to suffer, but when we start coming down or go sideways, maybe we'll see a little bit more action out of our altcoins there. Bitcoin, on the other hand, I don't think it looks bad at all. Market structure looks good. That's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you got anything else at this last minute, I think I'm done. Flags at the upside near the bottom, it does. They do make sense down there, but toward the top, they're more risky. You've only got like a 57% chance for a flag. That's for a bull pennant to break to the upside. And that's not a whole lot. Whereas you look at something like a falling broadening pattern, 72% chance. Even your symmetrical triangles have a better chance of breaking out than the bull pennant. And as crazy as that is, there's just, you know, high risk now for a bull. Yes, I agree. Well, I guess it depends on where we are on the chart here. But yeah, getting the flags at the top, and that's a common thing out there. Dog, help me out. I need to take more profits. I do too, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I'm always looking back and saying, man, I wish every time, I always look back and I always wish I took more profits. Every time. And the best thing that we that's us fighting with our inner demons and ourselves there. But this was a good place. A situation like this where we come down price Bitcoin dominance or the Bitcoin dominance thing. That's why I look at Total 3 and Bitcoin dominance a lot. That's why you see me spend so much time there, because they're the ones that are going to tell you when the smartest place to take your profits are. And it was right here. And now we're not there anymore. So we just need to wait till we get rejected. So again, my whole stream was that we're probably going to see. Oh, now you're looking bullish. You're not looking like you're trying to reject it all. A little bit more give and take out of altcoins. But then we'll get our chance again. Just that next time, know that next time we start coming back towards this area, that's a good place to sell out the altcoins or take a good percentage of profits there. As Bitcoin dominance goes up, we'll start looking for altcoin entries. It might take a few days for us to find them, but there will be some good entries on these altcoins if Bitcoin dominance continues up. We're looking for a rollover. Guys, that's all I got. Just wanted to throw that out there. It's 3 o'clock. I'm hungry. Me David says I sold Solana at 201 and XRP and SWI last Friday from a XRP took a big hit, right? Here's your typical mindset for something like this, right? Is this SRP? I mean, how many people were looking for a cup and handle to the upside over here? Because I know that was given. What would have been the best way? Just to zoom out and use a trend line. That trend line told you, man, 343, something needed to be done. Because this trend was broken. The trend line tells us when the trend is broken, and when the trend breaks, that's our signal to, hey man, take action. And then that comes down to us, and we got to train ourselves to do that. Now, I still have to train myself sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I didn't do nothing, or I wasn't watching it, or whatever. But, you know, how many people are looking for a cup and handle to upside? They don't call me cup and handy, something for nothing. You get a lot of these ideas, or again, flag ideas. But here's the thing, if the flag, whatever the idea is, if it breaks that trend line, the overall important trend line that you're tracking there, if it breaks it, that probably ain't going to work. And so those are the things I just try to point out as these things start shaping up. But look at XRP at 323 now. Here was the thing. I don't think this chart has it, what I was trying to do. But I think some of the charts... Or was it? Oh, I know what it is. It was this. It was this idea. Here, when we zoom out and look at this, this is XRP, and this was our all-time high on this chart. Was about 344. Really? So a lot of people, when you break new all-time high, you get into what is called price discovery, and that's where you get a narrative. Oh, it gets in price, so I'm going to jump all in, and a lot of people do. It gets in price discovery, and then a lot of people will go hard there, expecting a retest. We're in price discovery, and XRP is going to go to all new time highs: $5, $6, $8, $10, $500, whatever. But often what happens is that what you're doing, you're just making a higher high. And then what happens when you make a higher high? You get a higher low. So we welcome to the higher low state of XRP as we try to figure out where she's going to catch. And I had 350 on one. This one, taking our fields from low to high, suggesting that $3 might come back into the picture. Could. Right now we're holding this 325 area. But it's actually showing us that $3 could be revisited. And that kind of sucks when we're so close to 4 to come back for that steep of a retrace. But still, this is a positive one. This is a good one. You realize the AB equals CD possible move here. You can take a measured move from that 382 fib. And it suggests that we'd be coming up to our 618 area at 476 if XRP can just kind of come down here, and that's as low as we go. If it does that and we do some kind of bull flag thing, like I said, we're talking caution on them, but they got some things, bull flags. When it comes to fibs, 236s and 382s, if it goes lower than that, probably ain't no dang bull flag. That situation can get us up there. So there's hope for these things. It's just got got a little pain, but most of the pain's already happened for XRP, hasn't it? Wow, down to 326. My gosh. That's a correction. Guys, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you again tonight. And let's take advantage of what we got. Thank you so much, Ave. I see the super chat there. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I am 100% crowdfunded. Hey, there's 505 Cult. Gilly Marshmallow says the best thing to learn, dips and trends, patterns are always like a wishful thinking to me. Patterns, I like patterns. I believe in patterns. I just see that sometimes they're not applied as effectively as they could be, or sometimes there's a lot of rules that are twisted and bent when applying patterns. And if you got a teacher that's doing that and bending those rules, well, then the student is also going to bend those rules. And as a student, you don't need to be bending them rules. Even as a teacher, you don't need to be bending them rules. And then you start getting, well, people learning to apply patterns in a more incorrect way than what they were originally set out to do. That's just my take on it. Support resistance trend lines, those are always going to be the foundation. If your patterns are breaking those rules, then, well, you're breaking pattern rules. Is the best way that I can put it. But guys, I wish you the best. Let's be cautious out there. Here's the pullback that we were expecting a few days ago, starting to see it. And it's okay. It's just a pullback, just a little correction. Not a reversal in my personal opinion. If I think that it is, we'll come back with an emergency stream saying, guys, I was wrong. This is looking bad, looking really bad. I'm so sorry. But I just wanted to feel it was necessary to do an emergency stream just to give you a little bit of hope. Yeah, it's a correction. We're expecting it. It's coming. And now we in it. Let's just, deal with it the best we can, and because brighter days are coming. Thanks for hanging out. Going to the end screen, listen to a few tunes, and then transition out. Did you say transition? Oh my God, what's this song?
Got a good reason for trading the crypto high. Got a good
Crypto manipulation trader. Hey bro, can I enter along on Sui now?
got a screen in my grip.
That would be risky. You just confirmed a double top M pattern, which could lead to some big correction. I think you got an ABC correction going on here. I think it's got a little bit lower. I'd be looking around 350. That's where the 350 came. I was thinking it was XRP. Here is another argument to that. We got a bottom trend line. There is also a chance that it might come all the way back down here to test these bigger moving averages. The 200 is down here, and got to look at those ideas on the 4 hour. We could be seeing as low as 320, 325 out of this. So a little too early to enter along. We want to see just a little bit more here. There's no sign saying, well, time to jump in. We got some levels that we need to hit. 351 would be the first area I'd look for. 324 would be the next one. You've also got a measure move over here idea that could come into play. That suggests even lower, as low as 307. I'm not going there yet, but we'll see what happens at 350. That would be the first place I would look at.
Rolling day by day, stacking my gains. Leading the play.
Hammer came through in the clutch.
Short tips, I take the dare. Or run high.
You do got this. You do got this. This is just a little shakeout, in my personal opinion. That's what happens.
Crypto's my throne, my boldest play.
However, I gotta say, you got to keep your eyes on Bitcoin dominance. Now, my overall theory is that we can be going up to like 68-70% on Bitcoin dominance. But as it is so far with Bitcoin dominance, if I zoom out, the thing that is giving us hope right now is that we made a lower low and we lost this level. I would really like to see us not get above that. The ideal retest would just be to come up here about 62% and roll over. I hope that's what we do. I really don't want to see us go back up to 63% because that will make altcoins feel like giving up everything. But that could be as high as I see it going before we roll over. So a few days of flesh outs, shakeouts, whatever with altcoins is basically how I'm interpreting this. Big money, having fun, taking profits, whatever. All right, guys, I'll see you tonight, 10:30. Thanks for hanging out. With a little doggy, say goodbye and wave. See you guys tonight.
Crypto dream. Shadows chase the coins, my heart's a fleeting glow. Schemes we've honeyed lies, they pull me down below. That sparks in faith.